What up, everyone? I'm Rich Mays Lopez.
I'm Brendan Dunn, news editor at Soul Collector.
I'm Matt Welty, editor of Complex Sneakers.
And this is Full Size Run Show with two very, very special guests today. We'll start here first.
Deon Point from Concepts.
And
BJ Betts, tattoo artist, graphic designer, the man.
Wow.
And if you're watching this show, you should probably be very well versed with who these guys are anyway. If not, we're gonna do a little deep dive today. Right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Feel good about that?
Yes, sir.
How happy are you guys to be back from that holiday break that we had? You're not that thrilled to be back for our adoring audience?
I'm happy to see you.
How was your vegan Thanksgiving?
Oh, you did that? Oh, wow. What's that like?
I did not eat any meat over the holidays.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of holidays.
Let's talk about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the sneaker release madness that we saw over the past couple days.
You already sighed.
Yeah.
Give us a second.
Was it
It's gonna
rough
get
for you?
worse.
Was it rough for you? So, I mean, what were the big releases this weekend? The Adidas Yeezy 350 Boost Beluga V2.
Yep.
There was the Black Cause 4
Yeah,
on
which
Cyber
coincidentally
Monday.
you guys have a good story about because
We both
Raffle
won.
winner.
How is that possible?
Raffle
I don't
winner.
know.
Who did you
Bullshit.
beg? Who
So
did
the
you beg
system
to
is
have it?
fixed. If these guys won the system, it's like
I haven't won much in my life.
Yeah,
That's gonna be it.
And I mean, I even reached out. I rarely like to call in favors.
So
but
you were begging.
I did. I'm not going to front.
You're going to
man.
say
I did-
reach out and you
I
didn't
did,
beg?
I did reach
Oh,
out.
I
to
don't
didn't
know.
beg,
I
you
don't know
reached
him,
out.
so I
No,
didn't reach out.
not
So
to
who did
him.
you reach out to? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So both of you guys won cause fours off
I
the
did.
raffle. The shit is
Totally
obviously fixed.
randomly.
Yeah.
Totally random. Did you guys buy any sneakers this weekend?
I don't think so. It's hard
Welty?
to remember though.
I'm still broke from the jacket I bought at Complex Con. So.
I bought the Yeezys just because I won them on the confirmed app, and I
Had to
figured
do
I
it that
might
way.
as well go. Yeah, although it really was a reflection of how many more pairs they made this
Yeah.
time, because I won previously and I went at the end of the day and I didn't have to wait for very long, but I went at the end of the day on Saturday at the Adidas flagship store over here on Fifth Avenue, which they have a lot of registers there that can service a number of people, but it was still like a line. I had to wait around.
It's good though that somebody can get
Yeah,
easy this time
also-
around.
also-
People have been waiting for so long.
Also
Listen.
good that the guy there said that he loved the show and recognized
Shout out to that
me,
guy.
so
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
becoming
so
more
your
and
shit
more
was
famous
fixed
by
too.
the day.
He's over here complaining about it not being
What's
fixed.
the most fuck shit that you saw go down with Concepts over the most, either this one or in the past?
The human race one, that was a little scuffle. Not like a guy fight, but it was like
Yeah,
a kid fight. There's not much you could do about it. People are sitting around for a long period of time, and I don't really know what happens in that environment. I don't know if testosterone flares up or you get so close to the doors being open, excitement takes over. But in all fairness to the sneaker consumer, that shit happens on Black Friday at Walmart.
Everywhere.
So
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen them bust in the door to get like a no branded TV, so
Yeah.
you can only imagine.
Which they only
what
have
it's like.
10
But
units
you-
of.
yeah.
and-
Do you think you guys have any sort of like the blame falls on the retailer when that shit goes down?
I think everybody plays a part. It's very difficult to appease everybody, especially when you're talking about a limited amount of shoes. Like for instance, like a Yeezy raffle will get thousands of kids signing up. I didn't even know there's that many kids in Boston that even are into sneakers.
And then BJ
Because
Betts
I
will
know
hit you
when
and he'll say, hey, make sure
Yeah.
I win.
because there's shoes I can't sell 12 pair of. So where are these thousand of kids when you need them? But so I mean, just to put it in perspective, and then you're talking about the pair count that you get. And it's not like we're like, hey, if you win, post it, because that's weird too. You know what I mean?
And you have a big release coming up, right? We want to talk about the Christmas SB Dunks that you brought
Yeah.
in today here.
Hopefully, it won't be no Black Friday chaos with that.
Tell us about the shoe.
So this is our third iteration of a collaboration we started a few years ago to kind of get in on the holiday fun without being locked in to give our take on it, and we decided to go like an ugly sweater route. We thought the parties and the festivities were getting bigger and bigger over the years.
Is there a Concepts holiday party? And what does that look
There
like?
is, yeah.
Is it lit?
Yeah, we keep that offline.
So how did this concept even start?
So
He said
I
concept.
did. It was a double
Concept.
entendre.
Yes, yeah, we get royalties off that, so say it as much as you want. It was just, we always approach everything to try to have a fresh take and spin on it. We don't want to be lazy and just do a red and green shoe, and we knew that that's happened already in the past, so we wanted to kind of catch people by storm, and I think we did. And the joke was that, we were in on it. It wasn't like we meant it to be serious. In this one, I try to make it as ugly as humanly possible. I think that's,
You nailed it, bro.
it's grotesque, yeah. So it's one time when kids are like, these are trash, you're like, word, okay, awesome.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like, we wanted that to happen, so.
When you make something this garish, is there a worry that it won't sell out? You know
Oh,
what I mean?
absolutely. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't wear them. So, I mean, it's just like, absolutely. But I think people understand it's all in fun. And the one thing you want to do when you approach a sneaker collaboration is keep in mind that kids already have a million black and white shoes. So if you can offer them something that stands out regardless of what the storyline or kind of the color is, then I think you're onto something.
Speaking of ugly, sneaker collaborations, when we first talked about this show, me and you, offline,
yes,
you had seen the episode where we shit on your Concepts Nike Monarch, right?
Did we?
First sneaker that we're gonna get into is a kind of collab that may have been a joke 5 years ago. The Concepts Air Monarch 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I saw.
That's what got me on the show.
Okay.
That's
what got him here. And just to set the record straight, is that shoe dropping? What's going on with that?
They're made. They're ready to go. It's very, very limited number of pairs. I want to say they're sitting in Oregon somewhere, kind of tucked away. We don't know. But I mean, the whole reason.
Do you want them to release?
I mean, I don't know if I share the enthusiasm of some people with the whole Monarch. What is it, Monarch Gang or something?
Team Monarch.
Team Monarch thing. I get it, and I know it's not for everybody. And oftentimes, as the creative director for the brand, we're asked to do things that we don't necessarily always want to do. I know people will sit here on a soapbox and be like, I only do shit. That's not always the case. That was the shoe that, I was encouraged to do by the guy that pays my check. So I mean, we did it, and I'm not mad at it. It's just not something I could pull off. But I mean, I get it though. It's, I think, one of the #1 selling shoes in the history of the brand, if not the one.
So BJ, obviously, Deon's roster of hits is long, but you are a tattoo artist and an artist yourself.
I am.
Probably done a lot of things behind the scenes. You came through with something ridiculous on your feet today. So I need to know, have you ever, behind the scenes that you want to talk about, had your hand in any collaborations or any?
I have, yeah, man. I did. So the first shoe I worked on was the Puma RS100. I worked on the shoe with Adam Leviton, Air Rev, from back in the Nike Talk days.
Shout out to Air Rev.
OG.
Shout out to Air Rev, OG. I did a Mother's Day, a Father's Day, and I did 4 shoes in this pack. Released, killed it. Ended up doing a Easter Puma Clyde that was like a Barney's exclusive.
Dope.
All pastel colors. It was a dope shoe. Clyde was my favorite, so Rev and I worked on that. And I did a lot of work with Puma that was behind the scenes, which I'm completely cool with. I don't need to have my name on everything, man. I'm cool just designing.
As long as the check clears, right, buddy?
As long as the check clears, yeah, I'm cool. But now, to get back
Just
to
kidding.
the thing is about tattooing for me now, it's like the design process is what still gets me hyped about the whole tattoo thing, is sitting down with somebody, making them a design that they can not only wear forever, but if I'm designing something for a logo or for a brand or something like that, I do a lot of that stuff as well. But I worked with Crooked Tongues on some New Balance drops they did.
Shout out and rest in peace.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And then a lot of those guys went on from Crooked Tongues went on to do big things.
Yep.
Like Chris Law. Claw is
Yes.
the man at Adidas now, and my boy Charlie was Sofa Rock. Charlie's at New Balance. Matt Sleep Trussay is at Converse. A lot of these guys wanted to do big things because of Crooked, man. And I mean, I'm here essentially because of that in a roundabout way.
But where does this rank? Being on the show right now and the.
I would assume it's high up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, this is a no nonsense show here. They like honesty here.
Don't bullshit us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would
no
you
doubt.
say like top 300 moments in your life?
300?
No, I'm not, because he's got tattooed by Sade. I mean, that's.
Okay, but that's top 1. This could be 2.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, this is up there. Sade was no joke, but yeah, this is up there.
We're gonna move on to the next section now. The best and the worst things we saw on the
And
internet.
feel free to chime in.
Yeah,
Please.
no doubt.
Or you can even say your own,
Yeah.
whatever you're fucking with, not fucking with.
Yes.
Whatever. So first off, Rich,
Yes.
you have something?
So I was doing some research yesterday for our release roundup show, trying to figure out, because I can't do math, when the 25th anniversary of the Air Force One is. I couldn't count from 82 backwards. But either way, when I went,
2007.
yeah. So when I went onto eBay, I saw this listing for a pair of beat-ass Air Force One LeBrons that dropped during the 25th anniversary of the Air Force One, and the starting price for the listing was $104,000.
Wait. Which one was that?
So
I remember, yeah.
So the 25th Air Force, remember they did that players pack? It was like Kobe on it, Amari
Correct.
Stoudemire,
Yeah.
LeBron.
Yeah.
So some dude is trying to sell his beat-ass LeBron Air Force Ones for $104,000 on
Good
eBay. And I
Lord.
thought it was the best thing I ever saw because it's this week because it's like, bro, like get your money. If
Yeah.
you can convince some fool to spend
That's never
$104,000,
happened.
those-
That's never
that-
happened.
yo, it has
That one went
35
stale.
watchers.
That's never
Even if
happened.
somebody hit it for like, even if somebody hit him off to the side like with an offer of,
With an
of a
offer.
stack or
A
whatever,
stack.
that's still.
Oh my
stack.
God, yeah, bro. Because
Yo, and
those
they're-
You know
can
what I
we
mean?
can you keep
Hell
me
of an
updated if
investment.
he gets
I
a
wanna
hit
let
on
you
that
know.
or a
I wanna-
bid? Because I'm
and the thing about it is
interested.
there's like 15 inquiries, people asking questions, and there's like 35 watchers.
Not gonna
So
happen.
get your money.
I'm not gonna say I'm not interested. I'm not gonna say I
It could
want to,
be you.
but
I
maybe.
want to talk about my best thing I saw was Errolson Hugh from Acronym calling out Nike on Twitter. So he works on all the ACG stuff. He's done a couple more official collaborations with Nike too via Acronym. But basically, he was kind of upset at the product images that Nike put out for his stuff. This is one of them.
That was
where
the
someone has
Nike.com
this jacket
photo.
kind of like pulled over their face like this. He was kind of going at them on Twitter. He said, "I have no idea what happened with the ACG styling this time around either." He added later, he's like, "You can spend months and do the best design in the world, but then someone takes a photo like this." And he put LOL in all caps.
And then this
so-
photo got taken off, right?
Yes, it's not on the site anymore.
No, the photo is still on Nike's server, but all the product
Yeah, around the product
pages
page,
are
yeah.
like having errors on them. So I don't know whether or not Nike.
We actually had a
decided to
freak
do
out the other
something.
day in the office that Nike blocked us.
Oh
that
yeah,
from
there
you
was
going
a
the back
brief period
end.
where no one could.
No one in the office could go on.
access a Nike
Supreme
website.
Supreme has blocked our IP.
How does
Don't
that
bother me
happen?
any though.
And Ticketmaster. I don't know. Supreme didn't fuck with us.
Ticketmaster. Who are you pissing off?
A lot
know
of
what
fucking
happened.
people. Also, shout out to Errolson. We talked about this a bunch of times. Listen, that acronym lifestyle that
Yeah,
Errolson
we saw
lives
him.
is a real thing,
We saw
bro.
him at ComplexCon. Like, I feel like you can't really understand acronym till
Till you see him.
Errolson in person.
Yes.
And he just looks like the most futuristic,
Yes.
like ninja type,
Like, just came out the
Neo-Tokyo-looking
Jetsons.
dude.
Yes.
And he did it all with a fucking cowboy hat
Yes.
on, and it all made sense. And I was like, I need those shoes.
Yes. As soon as I saw him, I was like,
I was
this dude is from the future.
Ready to spend $1,500 on a pair of pants.
On
Westworld.
anything.
Westworld.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
like it.
What do you think's better though, the off-white Prestos or the acronyms?
Oh, that's a tough call. I think the acronym one is. Yeah, that's tough. I wouldn't know what to pick on that. I like them both equally.
Well, Virgil's not watching, so you're not.
no,
gonna
I
offend
mean,
him.
I don't. I
Or he
mean,
might be. We don't know yet.
Future.
If
full
Virgil-
the thing is,
size
I'm not a
Virgil
Presto
Abloh.
guy, and I like both their iterations of it. So I think they both did a really good job.
Real
Because you
quick-
won't see me in Prestos regular.
We've spoken about this at length of the show, so I need your guys' opinion. The consensus overall sneaker of the year was by on the Complex Conversation panel and also Footwear News was the Air Jordan 1 Off-White. I personally think
I
it's a
disagree.
Presto, but
Yeah.
what are you guys' thoughts?
I disagree.
You just in general or?
Sneaker of the year.
I'm an Air Jordan 1 junkie though. You can go back to the
and you still
beginning of
and you
time.
still disagree.
That one doesn't do it for
No,
you?
I don't think you could have made that shoe better no matter what you did. But I wanted to give everybody a fair fight. I couldn't really think at the time of what shoes have came out over the year that, because you see so many now.
Yeah.
There's such an influx of pairs,
But still, this stuck out meant
I
something.
think this is
How about you, BJ?
It's tough for me because I think some of the shoes that came out this year had a little bit more of a nostalgic thing for me. Like for me, one of the best shoes this year was a Skepta 97, and because of a few reasons.
Shout out to Gary. Yeah.
Number one, rest in
course.
peace to one of my best friends ever walked this earth, Gary, that worked on that. And the story behind that shoe was dope.
Yes.
It's just all around. It was a great thing. I'm not a big fan, to be quite honest, about the Jordan 1, the off-white one. It just didn't do it for me, and I thought it was lightweight, a slap to the OG Jordan 1. That's just me.
Does it look like a Chicago?
100%. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion.
Well,
Man.
tell us about your worst thing you saw in the past week.
So the thing that I've been ranting about a lot lately.
One of the things.
One of the things. Just one of the things. The one thing that really pissed me off, and you might have some insider
Yeah.
info because you guys were very close to this.
Yes.
In actual proximity. I don't know how it was officially presented, but it was kind of said that this Air Jordan 1 was led to believe to be an exclusive to the Union booth at ComplexCon.
It was a little vague.
It was a little
But
vague.
it wasn't exclusive. It was exclusive to Union Booth at ComplexCon though. That's for sure.
Yes.
Okay.
And now they're releasing on a not a Foot Locker level, but a pretty wide level. I mean, there was a list of stores
Energy accounts.
globally. They're releasing. They're dropping in China. All of that. And my biggest beef with it is that as you
Other
saw,
than it just being an Air Jordan. 'Cause
no.
obviously right then
This is
you're
more.
upset.
This is more of as we were talking about earlier. You know, with the fight and whatnot, where it's kind of like you saw how crazy it was, right? Like Chris had said that someone broke the wall on his booth.
Correct.
Like it looked like there was
Awesome.
like fights breaking out, and it's all because as it's been well documented, Jordan Brand not doing so hot nowadays. How's Jordan doing for you guys?
Right now, I mean, in all fairness, they're on fire. I mean, they got the Abezo stuff they're talking about. They got this. They got the 11s. Even if it's not your scene, that's still a big like volume pusher, and the cause. So I mean, there's a lot happening. But to answer your question, because I probably shouldn't say this, but oftentimes when we do a shoe, you have to really look into the wording, because what will happen is we put so much time, effort, and money into launching something, and to Rich's point, the wording is there. It definitely does. It is right when you look at it from the outside. Like I could say, this is exclusive to us. Like we're dropping on 12/2, but we're also launching it online 12/7. So if there's kids that ask, I try to be upfront and honest as I can, because you don't want someone booking a flight. But at the same time, you don't feed too much into it, because the reality is you want a kid to like your shoe. So it shouldn't matter, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I get that it seems unfair, but there are circumstances where it's right there and it's open to interpretation, and some people just take it the wrong way.
I just
So unless you ask and someone lies to you, then that's a different story.
Because the same thing was, I'm not even putting Deon on the
Yeah.
spot here. The
Put him on the
Kennedy
spot.
joint,
Kenny, 100%.
the Kennedy joint was in the email was going to be sold at ComplexCon with no mention of it dropping
100%.
afterwards, and it
Deon
did
lied
drop,
to us.
and it did drop afterwards. But which is fine. But my biggest point is,
not
I don't
fine, he lied
think
to us.
that
Yeah.
we should have gotten to a point as a culture where we're upset to have another chance to cop limited shit. Why should I be upset about what you did?
We actually caught hell for not putting it out. So what we did was we capped. If you saw our booth at 2 hours in, we capped it both days, and we didn't sell a single pair. We had pairs to sell, but if I didn't sell them in Boston and New York, like kids would go crazy.
Gotcha.
But then it was like we were dealing with riots and fights, so we just put it online. It was open sale. A lot of kids said easy cop. It was this. It was that. Like. That should be a good thing, but in this day and era, it's not. It's like
Which is the
if
that's the
you
fucked up part to
can't
me.
get it, and you can go and bitch and like go and complain and put 100 negative comments. That's supposed to be the good shit.
That's the hot shit. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what you can't appease everybody, like I said. So it's tough. I mean, my whole thing is at some point you hope it reverts back to just getting what you like.
when the shit happens, like I know the kids are gonna act crazy, they're gonna act ridiculous, but when the brands facilitating that behavior and they feel like they're capitalizing off of it, like we saw like with the Staple shit where it's like they're trying to sell that, oh, there's a riot happening over the shoes, and they're using that as a marketing thing. They're almost like using these kids as kind of like toys and minions to send out like mass like company emails like, look, we had a successful release this weekend, like 10 kids punch each other out, like.
Yeah, when we had the fight the other day, it didn't go over so well. But the one thing because Adidas hit us and was like, Jordan hit us, like what's going on? But the thing about it is we also can't afford to, this is a sidebar conversation, but we can't afford to have a security guard there 24/7. That costs us as a retailer money. Like I remember when the first Yeezy came out with Nike, we had a kid show up 2 weeks early. And I was like, bro, I will get you a pair if you go home. Like, do not stay out here and start this shit right now. Because the Lobster, we had lines that were six days long. Mm-hmm. That's like, you're creating like it's like the Vans Warped Tour at that point. Kids are like not showering and smoking weed and defacing and graffitiing all the local businesses. Like, you definitely don't want that. Yeah. And you're right, though. Some brands do kind of, they want that kind of reaction, but for us, we just want to sell through.
Because you also saw that too, and that's like the other thing. I know we're all hyped about the Black Cause 4, but that shoe was kind of billed originally as like a friends and family, right? Like when you saw people when Sneaker of the Year panel, several people were wearing it. They're like, oh, I all got the friends and family shoe, but we all kind of knew that shoe.
I'm friends with family now. You know what I'm saying, bro?
You were in on the jig all along, man.
Yeah.
Every week we look at what's dropping and we decide to either cop something or drop something. So you guys also chime in. My cop of the week is a no-brainer. It's the sneaker right here. It's the Stash Bird on, which I already copped.
Absolutely.
Stash to me is a legend in the game. The Spiridon is an amazing sneaker.
Would you
Can I
let Beach-
finish, please? Hold up.
I want to hear this joke though, so let's
We'll get to. And this to me is just a beautiful sneaker. It's like the perfect sneaker.
You have the rest of them?
Would
You
you-
have the,
I have the Air Force One.
My
Love.
man has a
no
joke.
BW,
would
no
you-
95?
Would you tattoo a stash throw up on Rich's lower back?
I would
100%.
take- I would have Stash do it
Like
himself.
This midsole should be speckled though. Let's all agree on that. Also, I'm trying to work with Stash to do a Stash X
Stash?
Oh, mustache.
So
I was working with Stash to do a stash pocket, so that might happen.
Oh, okay.
we can all.
But bro, this shoe, we didn't even talk about this for like sneakers of the year. Spiridon is top 5 for
It's
me.
crazy the Stash
ever.
comeback though, because I remember I actually met him at Concepts when
Yep.
you guys did that event a few years ago.
He's definitely friends with family.
And at that point, he was doing the Reebok stuff, and it felt like I interviewed him. It felt like Stash was in a very different place in his career. He wasn't, up where where he was originally, and up where this shoe has brought him to. So see this come out, it's kind of like it's good to see him doing big things again.
You always got to keep in mind it's not as easy to do some of the shoes that aren't really layups and home runs. So like when I give it up to anybody on the design tip that's had like a challenging thing. Like I know all the guys that are like the big hitters, they've had some questionable stuff, but you got to put yourself out there and try everything. Until then, like you deal with what you got, and I think Stash did a great job of persevering like
Yeah, Stash
throughout his
definitely-
career and staying hot.
He definitely did his thing on this one.
And this is no exception. Like great shoe.
My pick of the week, the acronym Lunar Force One. When these first came out a couple years ago, I wasn't
Did
that
Errolson
into
pay
them.
you for this? Like at the whole
I
show?
wish Errolson paid me. I think it's kind of like after seeing Errolson in person, this stuff just made so much more sense, and I'm into this one. I'll be trying to pick up a pair this weekend. I don't know how successful I'll be. Doing some international traveling, so I won't have
There's a lot of
access
shoes.
to
That's so nice.
Oh yeah.
usual channels.
It's holiday
but-
season.
Yeah.
Welty, what are you
Damn.
copping this
My
week?
cop of the week already copped, or
okay.
already in my possession. A good friend of mine, Thomas Lindy at Hand and Shop, sent me their upcoming Adidas consortium collab.
Very
Wow.
flexible. Very
Yeah,
flexible.
very flexible.
That was good,
Yeah,
that was good.
on the Adidas
You've been
New York.
doing yoga, right?
I like the guys at Hannon.
Hannon.
You got the hat too, right?
Yeah, out here repping.
But you were or were not paid for that?
I was
Because
not
you're
paid.
actually wearing the gear. I just said
Can
I
we
wanted
buy
the shoes.
sponsored?
I said I was
No.
going to buy the shoes. You got the
Oh, you
free
gotta put
shit
on for your
man.
friends though, right?
No, I love
Absolutely.
Hannon. They're
No,
great
they're
shop.
good guys. Like guys in Scotland, like just doing their thing. Like
I mean, yeah, send me a hat. I'll wear it.
We also drop a sneaker every week, which is a sneaker that under no circumstances are we going to spend our hard-earned cash on. And this one was
Yes.
super easy to me, and it's going to hit home a little bit to you, Deon.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's
my
the
guy.
Kyrie.
This is my new guy.
Your new guy. It's the Kyrie hybrid. Listen, I'm a Kyrie Irving fan. I think he's an unbelievable player. But this to me is a completely unnecessary and
are the Celtics
bad
gonna win the
sneaker.
East?
I think so for sure.
Oh, okay.
I want to mention every
I mean,
time
he
that
is
we
a
talk
bomb.
about this shoe that they should have called it the Kybrid. How do you
should-
not
we
call the
should
shoe the
have done
Kybrid?
Makes
That
sense.
was a layup. See
Might
what I
be
did there
time.
too, though? Layup, Kyrie. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Well
just not a
played.
good. This is just not a good sneaker.
and this is my drop too as well. The what the Kyrie.
Neither of you guys are feeling this
what
one.
if you play ball? Is this a win for somebody?
I'm not
else?
hooping in that.
Nah.
That's
I'm
In
not
that,
crazy.
in that shoe in general, or just that color?
That color specifically, because that's the one that's dropping this week.
Yeah,
so we
yeah,
talked
yeah,
about the
yeah,
sneakers
yeah.
dropping this week. But I'm not. But why would you cop this and not a Kyrie?
No, I'm with you. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
My drop of the week, the Just Dawn Air Force One. I like this idea on paper, but seeing them in person, they're just not that impressive. Like, I think it's clever. Dancy obviously knows a lot when it comes to sneakers and sneaker design, but this just looks like a chunky...
Execution wasn't there for you?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's just one of those things that sounds good, but when you actually see it, it's...
How do you feel about
It's
this?
a-
You're a
three?
Just Don guy though, right?
I think he's great. Is this a 3? I
1,
didn't
2, and
see it
3.
in person because
One- yeah,
you know
one,
I
two.
walked away at Complex Con with not a single shoe.
Rich said the same thing, but
I
that was a
didn't get
lie.
any.
That was a lie.
That
No,
was a
because
lie.
he had on
Hold
the
up.
Survey shows
Please
Luis
clear this
Lopez
up.
did buy
Hold up.
sneakers
Please
at
clear
Complex
this
Con.
up.
Hold up. I just want to make this clear. First of all, there's one rule on this team, and that's everybody eats. So if I walked
I
out
like
with a
that.
pair, everyone else walked out with a pair too. Yes or no, Brendan?
That's true, but I never said
Thank
otherwise.
you.
I never said
Thank you.
otherwise. We want to get on to the last section we have here, which is the mailbag. Welty, you've been getting into it with some of the commenters on Instagram, right?
Instagram, but not just like
Instagram's fine.
Yeah, but they're not
Yeah.
trolls. These are like people who are established within the sneaker community.
that
who
doesn't
are
make
like,
them not a control.
No, but I'm not saying
You're
these are-
established in the sneaker
Oh
community.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you've been
Am I
going back and
established?
forth on Instagram with a couple customizers. The first one was Kikasso.
No. The first one was Mosh.
Let's talk about Kikasso
So,
first.
so
Hold on,
let's talk-
sorry. What's the name?
Kikasso.
Kikasso. He does. He does a lot of the NFL cleats.
Okay.
I think he did those awful Supreme Odell Beckham Jr.
I don't know. may be the case.
I don't know
Anyways,
You saw his shoes.
Yeah, so he did a custom this weekend, and it was past weekend, and it was made to look like an Arizona green tea can.
Mm-hmm. And what did you say about this?
And
you
I said
if
I'm not on the show this Wednesday, it's because I've offed myself after seeing these.
he responded.
He has over 500,000 Instagram followers, and he responded and he said, "Good riddance."
And then he also said, he added in, "You can go fuck yourself. If your buddy Mosh would have done that, his dick would have been sucked. Take that for a fact." But to Welty's credit, I don't necessarily agree with just going on this guy's Instagram and telling him that his designs made you want to kill yourself.
And then he also this was on the Soul Collector page, and then he went on the picture of us and he said, "I must ask you a question." And I go, "Actually, that's Brendan," and he goes, "I just wanted to talk shit to you."
So
Wait, why did he
people
do
on
it?
Instagram about sneakers?
What?
Is that what you did over your Thanksgiving weekend?
I know, that's the part that
No, he
I'm
came
confused
at me.
about.
He
By the
came
way,
at
we
me,
would love
bro.
to have Picasso on the show to discuss
came
this
at me,
in
bro.
real life to make sure we all keep that same energy. To be fair, he did also make fun of Masha's design on Instagram. He had a SpongeBob cleat, I think, that you were not feeling. You said that these made you want to suicide yourself as well.
So check it out.
How many lives?
BJ, as an artist, right? And someone who's done sneaker collaborations, right?
Yes.
What do you think of painting shoes to look this absurd?
Check it out. So there's a fine line between what if the person asked for that specifically.
They had
commissioned.
To. They had
Right,
to.
that's what I'm saying. So it's
Wait, would you tattoo that on somebody?
If someone asked for a really whack tattoo, you'd be like, "Yo, you need to rethink this."
Well, 100%. I would try my best and talk them out of it. Now it's just a moral or ethic decision. Do you do it and do it well and take the money, or you just say, "No, thank you, I don't want to be associated with that"? Because now he's going to be associated with that cleat, right? I was doing it. So what do? You know, do you do it, do a great job, and kill it? Because that's what. Who was the player that won?
Oh, I don't know who the player was.
Oh, okay, yeah. So does Moz do it and get paid?
Yeah, but can I say something?
What's your thoughts on these though? Like the Arizona green tea and like SpongeBob. Like, is the art
wants you to be
okay?
as
Like,
upset
would
as
you
he
wear
is.
it?
No, I wouldn't wear it.
Funny story, Welty. So about these SpongeBob cleats, little did you know that these were actually inspired by something that Mosh did for you. We have a pair of SpongeBob sneakers. So way back when we put out a tweet from the full size run Twitter account, and we said if this gets 50 retweets, we will have Welty wear fake
I didn't even know this.
SpongeBob Jordans on the show. We couldn't actually get the fake SpongeBob Jordans, so we had a custom pair commissioned just for you. So while you were hating on Mosh, he had already made a pair for you.
I love Mosh, man.
Mosh made you these.
I love Mosh. Oh, no.
SpongeBob Dub Zeros. And you had the fucking nerve to go on his
Mosh,
Instagram.
man. Mosh,
and
I
your
love you, bro. You know
this
that.
happened.
This is actually from Mosh?
This was already done while you were hating on him.
Get
So
out,
we need you
don't
to
go
put these
Arizona.
on. We need you to put these on. Because we did promise
You
our
promised.
followers
You promised.
that if we got 50 retweets.
Come on.
How many
man.
retweets did he get?
Above 50. That's all I'm
All
asking.
right, hey, 51 counts,
52.
right?
Yeah,
You need to
I was
put-
number 51.
You need to put these on.
Put me up
Thank you to
it,
Mosh for making this happen.
While he's trying them on, can I say one thing?
Please.
In the spirit of what's happening now, though, I can honestly tell you, I don't think there's such thing as selling out. It doesn't exist anymore. I personally have morals, and there's things I won't do.
You do?
I do. I pass up shit all the time. But in the grand scheme of what this is considered as a culture, people would do anything for, not these dudes. I love Mosh and I don't know Kicks, but I'm just saying in general. People do anything at all times because there's such a short memory span now. It comes and goes. Nobody holds it over your head.
Yeah.
People are gonna remember this forever.
Well,
Please.
please put the shoes on while we address our viewer questions.
ahead.
Funk Doc on Twitter, a frequent viewer, I think, he's asking, after the Off-White Wave and recent ComplexCon launches, is it fair to say that Nike is winning the hype wars again?
I think one thing that we should do is ask Deon that question because we have a different perspective and we'll give it. But as a retailer, is Nike winning the hype wars again? Because your perspective is dollars. That's the one that matters.
I mean, in all fairness, you're watching two heavyweights go at it. I don't think anybody's really crowned a winner at this point. They're showing you everything they have going into January 1st. So I mean, the argument could go on both sides. I know that's a diplomatic
What's your
answer.
outlook for like 2018 though? Because you've already seen like basically everything you're selling for the upcoming year. Who do you think?
It's tough though because we don't have the insight to the quick strikes and the things that matter in our channel. It's more or less the inline stuff. I do think that Nike has an insane back catalog, so there's always that. But in terms of like the heat and the things that would matter to us, it's gonna be a fun ride to kind of sit back as a consumer and be able to pick and choose. I know that's super diplomatic, but I really don't have an answer.
So we should
They're
just
both
watch.
really banging. They're
Right, so we
both
should just
going
enjoy
at it
this
right
fight.
now. I mean, you saw it at Complex Con. There was like a lot of heat on both sides. There's riots and fights on both sides, you know. And I'm over here just trying to get my little.
Who do you think
thing
did the
in.
biggest at Complex Con?
Well, I think the problem is you can't look at Nike and not include Jordan in that equation. So automatically you have like 2 against 1. In that,
Then you
in
held
that
down for
segment.
New Balance
Oh, bro,
single-handedly.
I went up against everybody. Came out unscathed. Look, I'm still here.
All right,
This is everybody else's blood. This isn't mine.
We
But-
have Visions of Pharaoh on Twitter asking, how often do you have to rationalize to your sneaker buying habits to non-sneakerheads? You guys?
How do you explain it? Because I'm in my 20s. What do you say?
No, I mean, I think at this point, everybody that I know in my immediate circle, they know what it's hitting
They
for.
expect it 100%.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I think, and it's funny while I'm tattooing people now because of the culture has risen so much in so many, you know, in a short amount of time, that everybody is a collector in some capacity. And I think, you know, there's been so many times I've been tattooing somebody and they go, oh man, you got the whatever. Yeah, I like sneaks, man. I got like 12, 13 pairs. I've been collecting for a while. I'm like, yeah, it's great. I probably got that many in the mail last week, you know, and but I don't say that. But
You came on the show to destroy it and just flex all over it.
No,
Is that what
no,
you did?
man.
I
No,
love
I'm
this
saying.
thing.
I
I'm gonna
think
get a
he's- I think he's
residency.
flexed the hardest
By far.
Yo, but I
Yes,
want to stay. I want to get a residency. I like
No,
it.
listen. I love talking about. Listen, it's easy, as you guys know. It's easy to talk about things that you know about, right?
Sure.
And that you're familiar with. Like you guys can talk about shoes and whatever you're familiar with, whether it's tattoos or collecting coins or Tinder or whatever it is that you're a fan of.
Tinder.
Deon.
know
Are
anything
you
about
Tinder
Tinder.
King of Boston?
I know.
Fellas, I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
It was
Appreciate
an
it.
unbelievable conversation. I think you guys should come back. I think you guys
Anytime,
should
man.
come back.
We could come
love
back
to
and
have you.
tattoo somebody
That would be dope.
on this table.
Listen, let's do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. Somebody that wants to get a sneaker tattoo, I'm down.
50.
Alright,
Gotta
we'll
be
figure that
52
out.
tweets are up though. 50's not enough.
No, that's
We
dope.
need to discuss that
Deon,
first.
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
BJ. Thank
AJ,
you.
we appreciate it. Welty,
No doubt.
show them your Jordans again before we get out of here. Put those up on the table, man.
Dub zero.
Wait, how you gonna lace those?
don't-
Let's go get
Oh,
coffee
man.
after.
We got to put this on the full size
Look
on
at this.
Instagram.
Bro,
Gotta.
where's my
Incredible moment in
phone?
sneaker culture.
I'm Rich Mays Lopez.
I'm Brendan Dunn, news editor, Soul Collector.
I'm Matt Welty, editor of Complex Sneakers, and I
SpongeBob
have
enthusiast.
SpongeBob. This is SpongeBob, new co-host.
Peace.
Listen, this is important. I need you to subscribe. They're going to make me keep wearing these fake Skechers Yeezys until we hit 50,000 subscribers. So please subscribe to Soul Collector on YouTube. Now.